Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's doing well. It's been a little bit since we had our last ICT shotgun Twitter space, or whatever you want to call it. It's not Saturday like I usually do it, but it's going to be one of those, I don't know how long it's going to be, sessions. It depends on wherever my impulses take me. If this is your first time listening to one of my live Twitter spaces, it's probably better if you don't listen to it with children around, because I have a tendency to go off and sometimes use colorful language that may not be suitable for children. I'm going to do my best, obviously, to try to go through that as much as some of you like to hear it. I don't like that part about me, but for those of you who are veterans or active in the armed forces, thank you very much for your service. Today we're memorializing those that are gone. I was never in the military, by the way. I was raised by military folks, and they pretty much talked me out of it. I was going to do the Navy, but I was told otherwise. So I want to talk a little bit about navigating the markets and high probability trading, and I'm going to kind of like revisit some ideas as I go along that we've either touched on or taught in great detail on my YouTube channel, and kind of like recalibrate you, because sometimes, you know, it's easy for us to get distracted with the everyday chores of running a family. If you're alone or solo, it's still enough for you to be distracted with your own personal endeavors and work and school and whatever it is that you may be having that draws your attention or energy, sucks the life out of you. You don't want to study. You don't want to look at the chart. You want something really easy, something 1, 2, 3, get me in and I'm done, and I don't have to think too much about the marketplace. I've tried to do the best I could this year to try to adopt some kind of a teaching approach for the folks that are met with that type of challenge. And I understand that, you know, the more advanced things I'm making available to everyone can feel a little overwhelming, and it's easy for someone that doesn't have a lot of time or is lazy. And I'm just going to be honest, it's most of the time it's that. And sometimes readers or listeners see that from me, and it offends them, and they think, you know, who's this guy? I'm not listening to him. He's talking down to me. No, I'm telling you the facts. I mean, most of the students that come through my fold, whether it be private mentorship or public now that I'm teaching for free, the ones that don't make it, they swear up and down that they put the time in. They swear up and down. I saw a guy the other day on Twitter. I'm sick and tired of hearing I haven't studied long enough or I haven't put the time in. When I see that, I mute you. I'll let you see my stuff, but I'm going to mute you, because that's just the toxic mindset. You know, it took me 6 years. 6 years with no encouragement, no one sitting here pouring their insights and encouragement into me. You know, I had the Lord, I shouldn't say that, in terms of educators or teachers or people I bought books and courses and stuff from, none of them made themselves available like I try to do for you. And I went through a lot of emotional turmoil, psychological carnage, and it was all self-induced. But at the time, if you were asking me, I would have swore up and down it was the last person I tried to listen to. And that's a bitter pill to swallow when you're brand new, or if you know you're impulsive or lazy. It's easy to say, oh, it's that guy's fault. It's that person's course that messed me up, when it's just you trying to relinquish all responsibility. And in this industry, you have chosen, whether you realize it or not, to take on one of the most challenging things, and it requires the utmost focus and 100% personal responsibility. There's nobody's fault. There's nobody's blame for anything you do with your money but you. I don't put some kind of hypnotism on you and make you buy or sell anything. And no other educator does that either. If they have a ware or a product and you use that as a catalyst to get into a trade and it loses, whose responsibility is that? Yours. Absolutely yours. And it's easy to feel like you're a victim when you're unorganized. And it's convenient for people to reach for that as an excuse. Well, this guy really is not teaching everything. He's holding something back. Or, the free trial worked. It sucked me into it. And then when I tried to use it, paying for it, the black box system failed me. That's somebody that is really not equipped to be a trader. And I'm just going to be blunt and tell you that's exactly what that is. And if you're trying to be a trader, you have to understand in the first few years, it's going to be a lot of uphill, and it's going to be a lot of hit and miss where you think you have it and then you fall back a few steps. And it's easy if you're lazy. It's easy if you're not committed and not passionate about wanting to do this to talk yourself right out of it. That's why a lot of college dropouts drop out. They're either told by friends and family or influenced by someone that they like, and they say, well, I'm going to follow that person's footsteps. And they start their pursuit of the college degree. And in their first year, they're thinking, this is too much. And many times, just the prerequisite, the question of whether or not it's worthwhile for them comes up more frequently because they don't like what they're doing. They're not passionate about it. And when I was a working man, in my 20s, I was plagued with this haunting desire to just be out of the normal. I wanted to be something different. I didn't want to be caught in this mundane existence that everybody in my family thought that they were successful because they had a 30-year mortgage on a house and paying 11% interest on their mortgage. And it's, you're bitching right now that interest rates are high for mortgages, but I watched my uncles and aunts buy homes for $80,000 and $90,000, which were at the time they were pretty decent houses. They're not upscale, obviously, but one of my aunts and uncle, they owe more, 3 times more than their house was sold to them at purchase price, because they have not been good stewards of their money and finances, and they made poor decisions. I didn't want to follow anyone's footsteps when I was coming up. I just wanted to be different. I wanted to trailblaze, and everybody around me did their best to try to discourage me. And that's typically how the enemy works. He'll slip in and enter the mouth of your loved one, or your friend, your coworker. And social media has provided a wonderful stage for the enemy, because he can slip into DMs, he can slip into a tweet or a response or a reply or a comment section on a YouTube video and steal your joy, steal your pursuit of excellence and your passion. And it's really important when you're navigating these markets that you really do your best to try not to have so much influencers around you. Because influencers, well, let's just put it bluntly. Everybody wants the attention, because the attention equates to clicks, and clicks equates to monetized YouTube videos, or eventually a sale in the future, okay? Many of the things that have been said about me over the years, I've been doing very detailed approaches, but still being in my own lane, to try to dismiss all that stuff. For the people that have been here for a long time, they don't need to worry about those things, because they see the fruits and the evidence that all the things that I've been teaching and saying are in fact the truth. But influencers, they do what I did and kind of like pioneered it with social media, at least in FinTwit. When in the financial sector of Twitter, I was the bad boy when I came out there. I was in everybody's face and challenging them to do this and show that. And the ones that would talk a lot usually clammed up, and you knew they were the ones that weren't able to do anything. And I learned that the ones that talked the most shit, they usually were having the easiest crowds. to gather. So I went upscale on that. Like I went full bore in everybody's face and was like a troll. And I knew that the initial crowd would create like a chatterbox. And that chatterbox is viral, because if they can create an atmosphere, and I promise you I'm going to get to some trading stuff, but it's important for me to set the foundation for this and why I'm even talking to you today. But I had went out there and poked the people that everybody looked up to as heroes, and they just got real quiet. They weren't able to show anything. They weren't able to call anything advanced. Nothing. Wouldn't show any executions, but they would give you these stories of their 20-year career. And, you know, the bottom line is I understand that seems like the easy approach, and a lot of folks on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, they like to come in, they like take their pop shots at me, hoping that they'll get a rise out of me, because if I engage them, that gives them an audience. You're going to have to earn your own audience, folks. I mean, when you get a crowd, I can bark and like a carnival bark and bring people to look at a train wreck scene, okay? Something that everybody wants to come and take a look at. And you may not really be interested in what I'm teaching, but I have a lot of students that came to me by way of drama, and more so by everyone else's drama about me. And that's the thing right now. The flavor of the month is, what can we say about ICT and how we can make his stuff easier, faster, or why it doesn't work when everybody else is making money with it. And I'm here to remind the folks that are influencers, I promise you, come November, your circle of influence will grow. Right now, I'm the interest, but I'm stepping away from it, not because anyone pushed me away, but I want my personal life back. And I knew when I drew a crowd with drama, I had something that would make them stay. You can't just garner a crowd in your influence or your circle of influence on social media and assume that that's going to equate to you having a meteoric rise or more people interested in you. You have to have something of substance. And even at the height of my drama on Twitter, when I would go and poke everybody and say, can you do this? And I'm doing this with a demo account, folks. I've always done this with a demo. And I've disarmed all of them because they want to come and say, hey, you're using a demo. Yes, I'm absolutely using a demo because I'm teaching, and I'm outside the scope of any legality by doing that, because I'm not acting as a financial advisor. We're talking about candlesticks and where they're going to go next. You can't lose money on that, and you can't make money on that. But the people that read between the lines, they say, wait a minute now, if this guy's doing this with a demo account, and I learned what he's doing, what could I do with that? Exactly. But the folks out there that try to compete against me, they'll make all kinds of nonsense up. They'll talk about me in their live streams, talk about how I only trade in a demo. That's not true. I teach in a demo. I teach a lot in a demo, because if I'm going to be your educator and I am not influenced or deterred by anyone in social media that says you're teaching or trading a demo account, bro, really? Look at what I've done with a demo. I don't do any advertising. Everything that has grown in our community is organic. You know what the best growth has come by? Me not being dramatic. There's a lesson in that, folks. The internet is huge, okay? And for those that are trying to get their own little thing going on, or have been doing it and haven't really got their footing yet, there's such a huge audience. I'm not taking your audience from you. I'm not preventing your audience from seeing you either. I've done nothing except for just stayed in my own lane. And people that come here, they want to learn how to read price action and eventually become their own trader. They're finding that. They're finding me as a resource, a conduit. I don't want to be a celebrity. And Matt, Trades by Matt, I saw your tweet. I'm not interested in having a show up and meet and greet type of thing like that. And it's nothing against you. I get that literally every other day. Either I get it by email, or companies will reach out to me, brokerage firms will reach out to me, prop trading firms have reached out to me like that. I don't want to be a celebrity. And if I do those types of things, it would appear that's not the case. That in fact, I'd be wanting more attention when I don't want the attention. I want you to learn. I want you to learn how to read price action. So I'm not interested in anyone coming to my home and having a meet and greet, and I'm not interested in going to your home or wherever you'd be and have a meet and greet and have an interview. I'm not interested in that. I'm really not that interesting. Yeah, I know there's a lot of mystique around me and all that, but I'm just a plain old guy. Like I try to live a regular life